Alrighty, haven't made a video in a while, but we got a BMW here. I'll show you exactly what it is. It's a 2014 3 Series BMW. And customer complaint is when they're driving it, it's shifting weird. And I drove it around a little bit. It isn't shifting right. It's got drivetrain malfunction in the instrument cluster. But a full system scan here reveals the electronic gear shift, which is the transmission management, communication not possible with electronic transmission control. The fuel pump one, electronic fuel pump control, communication not possible with electronic fuel pump control module. We'll just take note of that for now. But the engine computer, the DME, no message from the EGS, bunch of EGS codes, the fuel pump stuff, all this, right? And then nothing there that's going to really help. Cluster, no EGS receiver, transmitter, light stuff. Gear selector switch communication not possible. Anyway, so if you go back to this topology here, PT CAN 1 is this one here. PT CAN 2 is this one here. Well, all the issues we're having is on PT CAN 1, seems to be. Now, I have the electronic gear shift, electronic transmission management plug unplugged right now. Even when it's plugged in, it still shows the same one code, which I'm going to go to my scope work here in a minute. But I do have it unplugged, and I'm going to show you some pinouts I'm doing at this connector. But I got key on engine off. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the fuel pump is always running, the low pressure fuel pump, which I thought was awkward, but you know, maybe there's, not awkward, weird, I guess. Maybe it's because there's no comm, right? So if I go into this, you know, you can look at DTC analysis, but you know, take it with a grain of salt. Basically what I want to do is go to repair assist, because of my diagrams are in here. I'm going to run this option. It says check communication with the transmission. I'm going to hit continue. It's going to say no communication. I know the plug's unplugged under the car. However, even when it's plugged in, I got the same results. I started doing this yesterday morning, but I wanted to film it. So now, let's look at this. Look at this transmission. Electronic transmission control. So you got a power coming in here, and then you got a ground, and you got CAN high, CAN low for PT CAN, and then CAN high, CAN low for this number 2 PT CAN. So I'm going to check power coming in on pin 13, and if I click on this, it'll show me what pin 13 is. So let me hook this up and show you guys that. So I got it on pin 13 here on the connector. Use my AS wave kit and my Altel Ultra scope. Sorry if I'm talking kind of fast. I haven't got much time to troubleshoot this one because I got to be at another shop later this morning. So I'm pin 13 there. I can do my split screen, but what I'm going to do is go to my oscilloscope, hit play. There's my voltage. I got battery voltage right there. Okay, so that's good. Now let's look at pin 9. It jumps back over to the transfer box. Is that their transfer case? Pin 9 is going to be, was it pin 9? Yeah. I just want to see what I get on pin 9. Let me hook up the pin 9 next. Already I'm probed in pin 9. Go in here. I know I should probably use a split screen. Same thing, battery voltage. Yeah, a little bit less. But anyways, I mean, our battery's probably a little weak, because you can hear this fuel pump running all the time, which is weird. Well, if there's an OCOM, that makes sense. Now let's check our ground. So our ground's going to be pin 14. So let's go to pin 14. So I'm on pin 14. I should have 0 volts. Less than 50 millivolts for a good ground. I know I should be using a test light to really load the circuit, but I don't believe that's the issue, and I'll show you why. Get this scale set back up. Anyway, so 0 volts, right? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I want to check PT can high and low, 5 and 6. They're twisted pair. And then PT can 2 high and low, 4 and 3. That's a splice. Okay, so it's just a bus signal. So let's check 5 and 6, high and low, which would be there. Alrighty, so I'm on can, well, let me see here, I'm on 5, I thought. I'm on pin 5, which is can high. Pin 5, just can high. And if you look, this car is actually really clean under here, well, everywhere. And I'm on pin 5. Probably can't see that in there, but it is pin 5. So that's can high. Should be going from 2.5 to roughly 3.5, but I don't think it was. If I go to my 5-volt ref or scale, there's 2.5. But look at that. I got messages going up and down. Let's go on a bigger scale here, 10-volt scale. Slow this thing down. And we'll go like this. We can just look at it. We can put a cursor in. But anyways, I'll pause it. Or a trigger, I mean, not a cursor. But 2.5 bias volts. Right there. So our bias voltage is good. But it's going low, but then it's going high on both. Why is that? The high side's going to 5 volts. 2.5, 3.5. That's way high. 2.5, 1.25. So maybe the schematics are wrong on this auto. But anyways, this, they say this is can high, but it looks like can low to me. So, but either way, that shouldn't be there. So let's go to the other one. And let's go to 6, which is can low. Right there. We'll do that. Go to 6. Let's see where we're at. I'm on number 6 now. So we can definitely see we got an issue here. Should just use a split screen. So 6 is can low bus signal. Well, if I look at that scope reading, I'm on 6 right now. Let's just change the scaling. 2.5 volts. To 1.25. And all my cursors, I'm kind of all over the place with them, but you can see the thing here. And I got some other videos on CAN bus. Like I said, it's going to be kind of a quicker video this morning. Might be another part to this. I imagine there will be. Not sure yet, but if you want to learn about the CAN bus stuff, there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube. But anyways, this is CAN low. So we're all on the same page scale. 2.5 going down, 1.5, 1.25. But I still have some noise there. Let's go back to CAN high. Again, this is CAN low. which looks okay except for that right there. Let's go to can high now. Now I'm back to can high. And look at all those, like, what is that stuff? Why is low? It should be flipped the other way. Because we went to we're on can high, then we're on can low. Can low looks fine, except there's a couple glitches, but can high looks like a can low signal, but there are some high spots in there. Let's look at this PT can. Again, this is the connector going to the electronic gear shift. So or transmission control. I originally thought we got a mechatronics unit in here. That's bad, right? I'm like, okay. But what's weird is we got communication issues with the fuel pump as well. So maybe we actually have a bus issue. And it looks like we have a bus issue according to the scope. So I don't want to condemn the mechatronics unit, call that bad, when that's probably not going to fix this issue. Because I have it out of the circuit right now. Anyways, let's look at pin 4 and 3 for the can high and low for the other bus. 4 and 3, and we do that next. Get the scope set up. Back to where we were. Okay, there's PT can high, but PT can number 2. It's a second bus high. Little 5-volt scale. But look at that, looks good. 2.5 volts going high. Now let's go to low, which is 3. Now I'm on 3, 2.5 volts going down to 1.5, 1.25, roughly in there. Anyways, that's good. That looks good. So the PT can the second bus, I guess, high and low is good. The regular PT can high and low, especially your high one, is bad. And I remember talking to the guy, the technician who was looking at this as well. He had PT can codes in here too. I don't see them now. Stuff's been cleared out, back and forth troubleshooting a little bit, but there's PT can stuff. So we got a bus issue. Now, if you go through this little fault isolation, it tells you, is the vehicle voltage okay? It is. I know it's a little bit down, but trust me, I've been through this a little bit yesterday and I scoped it today, but vehicle voltage is okay. So yes, is the communication with all other module units in the vehicle okay? Well, technically it's not. If I do hit yes, has the transmission mechatronics unit been replaced? No. Check the transmission power supply. Is everything okay? We'll say yes. Then it wants you to check right here. Engine transmission wire harness can cause CAN communication faults. Faults can be caused by even the most minor damage. Checks PT can high 1 and PT can low 1. And if it was good, you replace the mechatronics, but that's not the issue. So if we go back and run this again, I take this with a grain of salt. We already can see the problem on the bus. The eco voltage is okay. So we're going to say here, we can't talk to the fuel pump. We have issues. Perform repair assist system analysis. So it wants you to do this communication thing, which I ran, and I think it passed yesterday, but we can see we have a bus issue. Very well, I mean, it looks like that for sure, especially for PT can high 1. I don't think this is going to help us too much. I think we're going to have to get in the network diagram and break this all down. This checks for physical bus faults, communication faults. No faults detected. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think this is going to help us much. And then the faults they're talking here, or the bus they're checking, is all these different module transfer box, chassis management. Sorry, I'm just kind of reading this DME, the FEM module, front electronics module. Anyways, I don't really care about that right now. So we definitely have a bus issue. Let me find this one we were just using again. I like the repair assist program, I like it for the wiring diagrams, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's go back to 5 and look at it with the scope. One last time here. Well, I say one last time. So let's hook back up to 5. Now we're on 5. I gotta make my scaling bigger. Anyways, this is can high. Bias voltage is fine, but these should be going up. But why do we have it going down? That doesn't make any sense. We got to figure out what is going on with this bus. In order to do that, I think the way we need to approach it is, so there's PT can right there. This is the bus they're talking. This bus here, we scoped was good between the DME, EGS, and gear. That's why there's 2 buses. I guess you can talk on the other one. But PT can 1, this one is the one we're having issues with. And that's where basically all your codes are at that we're having issues with. We have the transmission unplugged. So that mechatronics unit is not causing that bus issue. We got to go down and look at the gear selector switch, maybe unplug that and see if that's causing it, the DME or the fuel pump, and see what's going on. Or is it a physical wiring issue itself that's causing this? And going to the fuel pump, going in here, I don't know why you click on it, it doesn't always go in. Maybe it's because there's no comm to it. But usually it would turn a different color, but not on this one. They're working on a beamer, and maybe that's why the way their topology works and lays out. Just to look at these again, let me look at them one more time. DME, no message with the EGS, no message from the fuel pump, which is the EKP. Instrument cluster, no message with the EGS. Headlight unit, we don't care about. That's on a different bus anyways. EGS, no communication with the transmission. Fan, we don't care about for lights. So the fuel pump control. Fuel communication not possible with electronic fuel pump control, which is on the same bus we're talking. I want to see if this shows anything for testing and wiring diagrams. I might have to go down to that area and scope as well. Probably going to be in a different video though. Communication fault. Yeah, so it wants this bus connection fault, power supply. So let's look at this schematic here. Fuel pump control. You got your power, your ground, your fuel pump control, electronic fuel pump, electronic fuel pump, electronic fuel pump. Okay, early production, late production, without ethanol sensor. So we got to find which one we have, obviously. But either way, it talks to this fuel pump control. And then there's your can. And you have PT can high, PT can low, which we were just looking at. Got a wake up signal. I believe that's what that is. So we got can high 1 and can low 1. No can 2 on this one. And then it talks to the fuel pump, whatever which one you have. So we could go to the fuel pump control module, check our power and our ground, which I'm sure is going to be fine. And if we scoped it here, then we know we're going to have a bus issue. Or we could see the bus issue. You know, if we could scope it here, unplug it, you know, it goes away, then maybe this is causing the issue. Or, you know, if it's still there, then we got to go to another module or in a harness. But I'm about out of time today. So that's what we're going to do next. We need to go down and eliminate these modules. Alrighty, so wrap part 1 up here. PT can 1. We have the EGS unplugged. You can see it on the scope. We can go to the fuel pump module, look at that. The DME, look at that. Do we have a module? Or also look at the gear selector shift. But do we have a module that's screwing this bus up? Or is it a wiring issue that's going to bus up? Or termination resistance? We got to concentrate on this area right here. And that'll be it for part 1 for this 2014 BMW 3 Series.